Well, hello there. This is part 2 of decorating the nightmare, where I decorate the second part, so the cube part. And of course, if you didn't watch the first part, go check it out before you watch this video. Anyway, let's get right into the video. And of course, my microphone just didn't work in the recording, so I have to voice over everything in this video. Yay! Also, in the start, there were 2 block designs that looked absolutely garbage, so I ended up deleting them. But there were also some other things that looked good, so I wanted to keep them. This was the first block design. Ugly would be the nicest way of explaining it. It was just this weird spam of 1.6 objects. And this was the second block design. Just a very ugly 2.0 style. Looks very bad. I don't know what I was trying to do here. I'm really thankful I changed the block design. First thing that I kept was this ground stuff. I don't know. They're supposed to look like rocks. Second thing that I kept were these saws. I did end up deleting the half opacity ones, but in the end I also added bigger ones that were just darker. This here is the moment I got slapped back into reality and noticed that the block design that I just made was ugly. So I thought about an idea and came up with this. And to add some variation, I changed some of the pillars with this glow thing, and then just put some metal pillar things. Then, to make the pillars more lively, I selected all the glow things and made them flip each other. Next, I added some glow on the orbs and portals. In the foreground, I added these chains and tried to make a blur effect on them by adding black glow, but it didn't really work, but I kept it anyway. I tried to make a background here by taking the block design, making it bigger, and making this weird pattern. But it looked really messy and ugly and disgusting, so I just ended up deleting it. Yellow gradient background. But later on I made it better with a gradient trigger. For a whole 10 minutes I was just spamming random stuff. They were all bad, so I deleted everything. Orb decoration. And this here was the most annoying part of making this level. I had to figure out how to use the area fade trigger. And you might say that it's really easy, and it is, but I had no idea how to do it. I had to go to different levels just to find out how to use this, and it still took a long time because I always had something wrong, just straight suffering for a quarter of an hour.
Tripping, bro. You tripping.
After I found out how to use the area fade trigger, I ended up adding an area tint trigger to just make the orange parts turn a bit red. Since this was the first drop of the level, I wanted to add a bit of speed because it was on 1x speed, so I wanted to make it a bit quicker by adding mist that goes past the screen pretty quickly. After that, I added a couple of shakes. Then I added these weird like particle things in the saws section that just spin around. For a bit more detail, I added these wind things that were also in the saw section and just put them around the place. To add more depth to the beats, I added yellow flares that pulse when there's a beat. Also, of course, I had to add some arrows that point where you have to go. Because, I don't know, I just like arrows, I guess. Then there was a failed attempt of trying to add depth to the level by adding this fire object thing. I don't really know what it does. I think it just adds grain, but it didn't really fit to the part, so I deleted it. Saws, so that you actually die when you go through the floor, like I just did right now. While adding the hitboxes, I forgot to delete the saws, and there was this cool effect of the saws spinning, and I really liked that, so I actually did end up adding that. I tried adding some shaders, but they didn't really work out. One shader that I actually kept was a radial blur, where I have it on really low intensity, so you can barely see it. But it's still there, and it adds an effect. And last but not least, I added a shader that just tints the red a bit more, so the level is a bit more red. Anyway, let's get straight into the showcase!